I hope you guys are doing well today. This is going to be a little different, only because we are on the eve of a new set, and we all have been waiting anxiously for the last, God knows how long, for set 12. And I thought it would be appropriate to actually talk about set 12 before we do our viewer fights. My goal was to make this into a video anyway, so I think this would be a good change of pace to actually do a preview with you guys, the viewers, and you know, kind of get your thoughts and opinions, and let's, you know, kind of look this over a little bit, because we've got Link Joker, we've got Revengers, we've got new Liberator support, new Beast Deity support, and set 12 is just shaping up to start setting the pace for things to come going forward in Vanguard 0. Yeah, BC Gamer says, yeah, I'm inviting you in advance because thinking team feature is in the future sets, but global made it earlier. That is awesome. And by the way, for those tuning in, welcome to Anteiku. It's a pleasure to have you out, guys. I apologize, my voice is a little rough. I'm still trying to wake up. We got our bean juice, we got our H2O, and we got all of you awesome people here with us today. And we're gonna get this thing going. So let's look at this for a second. I think this is a really cool feature that they actually, in this sense, with the grade zeros here, incorporated the triggers. Like, it's not too often, I don't know if we've seen trigger units. Well, no, we've seen it with embodiment of Speartar and like Flogel and Luz. So I can't say, I was about to say we haven't seen this, but I really think that was a cool idea that they actually incorporated the Revenger triggers in this set in some way, shape, or form. That looks like Revenger Darkbond Trumpeter can actually create these. I think that's just really cool. I mean, it does kind of call back, I guess, to the Royal Paladin stuff, like I was saying with Barkle being able to create a Lu and be able to create a Flogel. So I think I just think that's a really cool idea that they hydrate. Okay, we're gonna be hydrating. Drink more. There we go. I am hydrated. We are pumped. So let's look at this. I was already under the impression somebody had posted, either I think it was Fox Spirit Sama had actually posted it on the Twitter page, that we were actually going to be getting the nerfs in this set, so we don't actually get the benefit of playing like Claudus before the nerf, which means we were obviously going to get like Dusttail Unicorn. I can't even talk this morning. Dusttail Unicorn as well with the nerf, and I feel kind of bad about that, but I mean, it's all right. I guess it is what it is. It was going to happen anyway, so might as well be used to it. So let's look at Claudus real quick. This is going to be the starter. I think people are either going to still use Claudus or they're going to use Goat, because Goat's still strong. Counterblast 1, search top 5 for a grade 3. Like, I mean, yeah, you want to get your Mordred, you want to get your Raging Forms, depending on what your hand looks like. But Claudus says the original text was, if your Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you can counterblast 1, put into his soul, call a Blaster Dark Revenger from your deck. So now it says, if your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, you counterblast 2, put it in the soul, call Blaster Dark Revenger. So it's just a counterblast more, which does kind of feel a bit bad, because you do use counterblast in the deck quite frequently, but at the same time they do have a pretty legitimate countercharger, right? Phoenix, there is a reason why Goat is Goat. Absolutely. Debony loves Claudus, but I'm sure everyone is going to play Goat. I'm feeling like people will move towards Goat. My best friend, he's a very big avid Shadow Paladin player. He's played every form of Shadow Paladins known to man that's ever been. And he played Goat. He actually played Goat, even though Claudus was a thing, even for the TCG. And the Goat showed him a lot of love. Like, that card put in work. So it really wouldn't surprise me for Shadow Paladin players if they actually do choose Goat over Claudus due to the CB2. CB2 just feels very heavy, in my opinion. I don't obviously think we're going to be seeing Spinbow Revenger at all, maybe. So yeah, it's just really going to come down between Goat and Claudus to what people end up preferring to play for their starter. By the way, for those tuning in, welcome to Anteiku. Just want to welcome you guys. We are doing set 12 review real quick before we get into our viewer fights. So let's look at this. Barrier Troop Revenger, grade 1, rearguard. Oh, a guy with the follow. Welcome to Anteiku. It was a pleasure, man. Thank you. Thank you. What decks am I building? I'm definitely looking for Link Joker. I actually was not really excited to begin with for Jokers, but now I'm for some reason on that hype train for Link Joker. I am looking to hopefully maybe get Garmors to flesh out my Liberator deck a little bit, because Garmor is pretty powerful for a CB2 to fill up the entire field. I'll take that. But I do hope that I can get like the reverse Bowing Sword, because I'm going to slide that into my Sweep Command, aka my Steve Command deck, to flush that out a little bit, give it a little bit more threat. I think what I'll end up doing is taking out Gauntlet Buster and the grade 3 that I have in there that was a tech in that says when it hits you may CB2 and retire something, because I tech that in order to get off the starter's ability to Superior Ride into Sweep Command. It was just another outlet to be able to retire and get that in battle phase retire going off. And I think that's just going to go, because reverse is really strong to be able to get power, retire, and get a crit. So kind of excited for that. And you know, if I get BCD stuff, that's awesome. It's not really honestly on the top of my priority list. Really, Link Joker is number 1 if I'm just being honest. I don't play Shadows. I do have a Shadow Paladin deck, and I have played them, but it's just not my thing. It's just not my clan. Let's see, Phoenix, BC Gamer. I just found this. Are you going to stream immediately after maintenance? And Arcway, hey Ant, I have a question. What happens if you didn't get the units or cards from the gacha pools? Okay, so let's back that up. Phoenix, are you going to stream? It may not be immediately after maintenance. I'm not entirely sure what time it is that I'm actually going to get on stream. I have a few things I have to do tomorrow that's going to hinder me a little bit, but I will be streaming tomorrow, and I'll post it on my Discord. I'll also post it on my Twitter page, what time frame I'll be looking at to give you guys the info on that. And Arc, if I don't pull what I need, I'm going to be grinding character fights. But seriously, no, I will be grinding character fights, but also if they do a raid up gacha for Link Joker, I will put funds into that, because I really do want to flesh out Link Joker like ASAP. I just hope that the Vanguards that be will shine upon me and grace me with Link Joker, unlike they did with Seal Dragons, because they're like, you're not allowed to have nice things. So we didn't get Seal Dragons at all, which was the only thing that I was really legitimately gunning for in set 11. So it felt kind of bad, but it'll be all right. Let's see, a guy says, or you can wail. Oh, we can wail. We can wail all day. So looking real quick, we've got Barrier Troop Revenger Doran. So when your Blaster Dark Revenger is placed in the same column as this unit, your Vanguard is a Revenger. You may countercharge 1. We also see a similar unit in Liberators coming up in set 15. They just revealed it earlier in the week, but they finally put it here on the Data Mine set, which I like to pull from the Data Mine because it's just easier for like global players to be able to see everything in English, and you can, you know, it's just, I think this is just better. I hate that I have to wait, so I'm not like on the cusp as soon as something is revealed that like, oh, I'm dropping this information. I have to wait until they decide to upload it here. But yeah, we're also going to get a countercharger for Liberators, which feels really good because Liberators need a countercharger, and Revengers do too. So Doran's going to be putting in work like Doran always has. Transient Revenger Masquerades are 10k grade 1. Nothing really to be said about that. What is it? Sacrilege Revenger Bareth, Counterblast 1 to get power plus 1000. You may, I don't know, maybe in a budget deck. You just don't have room for that between Doran, our PG here, and then you're probably going to be running like Masquerade. I don't think you got room for too much. Malice Revenger Dylan, when this unit boosts the Raging form, you may Soul Blast 1 to get power plus 5000. Maybe as a tech in, maybe. I don't think so. It doesn't really need it, not in this game, because like power matters, but it doesn't matter like it did in the TCG due to the fact that we're not guarding from our hand with shield values. So the power boost is kind of negligible in my opinion. All right, let's look at chat real quick. Arcway. Well, we gotta wait and see what the Black Ring will do, because I'm not actually sure if it lets you get Nebula for free, but yeah. And I'm very curious. I left my ass off. Dr. 2. Balin, the Liberator version, is actually nerfed. You're right about the oh, so they nerfed it? How did they nerf it? I was not familiar that they'd actually nerfed it. So anyway, while you guys give me that info, because I'm actually curious now, let's look ahead at Blaster Dark Revenger. You're obviously going to be running this. When placing Vanguard as a Revenger, you may CB2 to retire your opponent's rear guard. You know, enough said. You just slap this bad boy in front of Dorant, and then you just do the thing, and for 1 CB, you get to pop a unit. That's just really strong. Especially now that Mordred is free. Like, Mordred in the TCG cost 1 counterblast to superior call a grade 2 from the deck, and now it's free. So you would obviously, for like combo purposes, want to try to get like potentially Blaster Dark to, for 1 counterblast, pop something. So you get a unit, you power that unit up, you pop one of their interceptors. Like, why wouldn't you want to do that? Another double rare to look at, or a double rare to look at, is going to be Dark Cloak Revenger Tartu. So when placed, if your Vanguard's a Revenger, you may counterblast 1 to call a grade 1 or less Revenger from your deck. This is going to be another target for Mordred, because if you want to build up, you know, your field presence, Tartu is going to come in like a champ and just deliver the good, because now for 1 counterblast, you can put something behind her, grade 1 or less, obviously. So like, you can set yourself up. Like, you can set yourself up with Dorant. So like, if you look in future plays, you know Tartu's not going to last. Maybe you just fill up your field, you get the Dorant, you know, you sacrifice the Tartu in some way, shape, or form, and then like you set yourself up to be able to drop the Blaster Dark in front of Dorant to still pop a unit for just 1 counterblast, and that feels really, really good. So let's look at chat real quick, guys. Dr. 2, it was when Blaster Relay Liberator is placed anywhere, so you could CC up to 4 times if you had 4 on the field. So wait, does it have to be in the same column now as the unit instead of just anywhere? Because you're right, I forgot about that. I forgot it was anywhere. As long as it got placed on the field, you're right, it did get the counter charge. I completely forgot about that because it's been so long. Oh, I can't read it. It has to be in let's see, 1, I can't read it. It has to, okay, it does have to be in the same column. Okay, so basically they gave it the Dorant treatment then. Okay, I'm not sure why they did that, unless they just deemed it too powerful. I don't really think it was too powerful, but you know, what do I know? I'm just a noob. Not really. Anyway, so we got a 10k vanilla, nothing really to see here with Darkness Revenger Rugos. Pretty cool, love the artwork. Nullity Revenger Masquerade is going to be your other grade 2 that I feel like people are definitely going to be running. I don't see why you wouldn't. It's your 12k attacker as long as your Vanguard's Revenger and you're running Revenger. So like, yeah, enough said. Colbow Revenger. So during your turn, if you have less rear guards than your opponent, you can get plus 3,000. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of cool because he does become 11k, but why even have to worry about the stipulations when you've got Masquerade? It's already a 12k just for natural reasons. I mean, this is kind of cool because it reminds me of the Kagero unit that people were running back when set 1 and 2 was out, and it got power, I think, for having more rear guards than your opponent. And given the fact that shadows eat their units, like, this is, you know, I don't know, we'll see. I don't think you got room for it though. Too many other valuable resources. Let's see, Jack Bow Revenger. During your turn, if you have a unit with Limberate 4, probably not going to use that. Demon World Castle. When the unit attacks counterblast 1 to get power plus, you're not going to use that. You need your counterblast for so many other resources. Like, I like cards like this for like budget purposes, but like, you're in their full build, you just don't have room for them, and it just too many better options, really. Arquay Redeemed Hydrate. Oh, posture check. Posture. All right, we're gonna hydrate real quick. We're gonna hydrate. All right, moving on, guys. We've got our bad boy himself, the man, the legend, Illusionary Revenger Mordred Phantom. So limit break 4. When rode upon, your Vanguard gets power plus 10,000 until the end of turn. You can call a grade 2 or less from your deck. That unit gets power plus 5k, and it gets the generic, you know, break ride unit ability that when this unit attacks, Vanguard gets plus 3k that we always see. I think it's awesome they took away the counterblast. The fact that it was 1 CB before, now it's just a free on-ride ability, and you can give the unit power. Like, it just sets itself up for so many combos that the deck wants to do. I'm a huge fan. Even though I don't play the deck, I'm a huge fan, and I still love the freaking artwork for this card. It's so sexy. Absolutely sexy. By the way, for those tuning in, welcome to Anteiku, guys. It's a pleasure to have you out. Please drop some love in chat. Don't be shy. Kick your feet up. Stay a while and join us. Next up, we've got the big boy himself, and oh man, he is still just as awesome looking as he was in the TCG. Revenger Raging Form Dragon. So limit break 4. When this unit attacks, it gets the following ability until the end of battle. At the end of that battle, you may retire 3 Revenger rearguards. To ride Revenger Raging Form from your hand, you draw 2 cards, and it gets power plus 10k. So it's like a break ride into a break ride, because you would, you know, drop it on top of Mordred. It gets the power plus 10,000. You get the Mordred skill off. And then now this thing just, you know, the synergy between the two is just unreal. And with everything else that the deck does with calling units, the counter charging, and just the combos are stupid. The combos are stupid strong with Revengers. And it was one of the bigger reasons why this like blew Shadows up in the TCG, because Shadows went from being like the clan that nobody really played to being the biggest clan that people played. Outside of like golds and link jokers, it was stupid how Revengers put Shadow Paladin on the map, and it never went away, because from like Revengers on, man, everybody's on that hype train for Shadows, and I can completely get behind that. The fact that he even like feels his own cost is really good, because like you don't even pull it from the deck, it just generates a copy of himself. It's really awesome. I'm a huge fan that they did that in Zero. Because it just lends itself to new game mechanics that we wouldn't be able to see in the actual TCG, because you can obviously, you know, generate a freaking copy of the card unless you pulled it from the deck. But still. Let's see, Phoenix reminder: Raging Form is coming to the TCG V Series version. Yes, and I am super stoked for that, because it looks really good. Arcway Raging Form Dragon now is the core of Shadow Paladin. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be interested to see what they do with Drag Ruler when that set comes out. Moving on, we got Venomous Breath Dragon. So it's going to be like a generic, you know, limit break unit. So when this unit attack gets power plus 5k, budget deck maybe. Labyrinth Revenger Aron, when this unit attacks, you may counter blast 1 to get power plus 3000. Generic. Demon Royal Castle, when placed, this unit gets power plus 10,000. Yeah. Here is something that I think you'll see. These are the two that I was more excited for outside of Mordred and Raging Form. It's going to be Cursed Spear Revenger Diarmuid, however you say that. I probably just butchered that name. So limit break 4, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you retire Avenger to get power plus 5k and a crit. That's strong. You retire 1 unit, he gets plus 5k and a crit. Like, you break ride, that means he's 25k and a crit. Like, really? Like, you're doing what your deck does naturally to get a crit and power. It's pressuring. It's very pressuring. I'm a huge fan of that card, and the fact that it's a double rare makes it even better. Revenger Deathmaster Dragon. So limit break 4, once unit attacks a Vanguard, retire a unit, get power plus 10k. It's not that great, but it's not bad either, because it does lend itself to be like, you know, pretty powerful. But given the fact that you've got Revenger Diarmuid over here, and then you got Raging Form and Mordred, that's probably going to start filling up your resources. Like, you would obviously, you're running 4, you're running 4 the break ride. I would think you would run 4 of him and maybe just tech in a Deathmaster. Like, maybe you just tech in one of these potentially. I'm not sure. Hydrate. Oh, you guys are awesome. Oh man. All right, good shit. All right, so that's my thoughts on Revengers. It's obviously going to be strong. People are going to play it. It just is what it is. It looks like there may be a budget Revenger deck somewhere in there between these two, because these two can be pretty powerful on their own. Just sucks there's no like budget version of a break ride, but still, it's pretty powerful. Even if you couldn't even break ride and you just go into this card just for 1 Revenger, 5k and a crit, still a thing. Now let's look at Beast Deity, the archetype that's finally getting support after a couple of months. The new starter, Beast Deity Night Jackal. So when this unit stands during your battle phase, it gets power plus 4,000. I'm just not sure if you're still going to come off the grade 3 searcher, or if you would use like Riot Horn, because Riot Horn is still pretty strong. You're definitely not going to be using White Tiger, I don't think. I haven't looked at Nova enough in the Japanese format to know exactly what they're playing. And it's really weird for me, because I was an avid Nova grappler player, especially when Beast Deity became an archetype. It was my favorite all-time archetype. But I don't know what people are doing with it in Zero at this moment. BC Gamer, yeah, Beast Deities. I was grinding character fights for this and Garmore. Oh, dude, I totally understand. Like, Beast Deity is strong. Like, it's not that it's not strong. I totally respect the deck. I just unfortunately have not kept up with Novas enough. So if you got any information you'd like to share and lend us, dude, please, by all means, drop that. So we've also got Beast Deity Max Beat. When this unit stands during your battle phase, if your Vanguard is a Beast Deity, you may counterblast one, stand one of the other rear guards. This just lends itself to the combos. Like once you do the break ride and you start swinging, like you can actually swing with like what, the whole column, because you could counterblast one, stand something else up while Ethics Buster is actually standing something. Then you could, if you get the Ethics Extremes ability off, then you stand this up, and it's just, yeah, the combos are, oof. I think you might be able to get 5 to 6 swings, maybe more, but at least 5 to 6 swings with it. Phoenix, Beast Deity, Brainy Monkey, oh yeah, the monkey, yes, Brainy Papio, baby, let's go. For those tuning in, welcome to Anteiku. It's a pleasure to have you out, guys. We were just chatting over some set 12 on the eve of this new awesome set. The BC Gamer, Ethics reversed with the right pieces and break ride can do 8 attacks in 1 turn. That's insane. That is insane. The only thing that like I feel like Nova suffers from is needing the pieces. But I said that about Aqua Force too, is that they're a clan that really needs their pieces to go off. And you definitely need the board state. So I feel like clans that can retire and maybe even like lock with Link Joker can maybe hinder them a little bit, but I'm not sure. Not unless you can just beat them in the face before they can start going off on you. I mean, and it does have burst potential for sure. Because if we look here, we've got our 10k attacker right here with Desert Gator, but then we've got Brainy Papio. So when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if your Vanguard is BC, obviously it is, you CB1 to stand one of the other rear guards. So these two are basically one and the same, almost, in a sense. I mean, the stipulations are slightly different, but they definitely lend themselves to where you can just keep, you know, restanding your rear guards and getting those attacks off. Let's see, Arcway at a guy 1013. This is true because the reverse has more stronger ability, making them more better choices. PC Gamer says you just damage deny Link Joker, and when they give you break ride, just go ham. Yeah, I think that's a solid gameplay. Because I'll admit, as excited as I am for Link Joker, they do suffer from being a vanilla clan. Because mostly outside of break ride, they're vanilla. Like they just don't do a whole lot until they break ride, and that part feels bad for Link Joker because most of their gimmick got trapped behind that break ride wall, and it feels really bad. Whereas other decks can still lend themselves to do other things without even needing the break ride, or even having light lock going off. But we'll talk about that when we get to Link Joker. So let's look at this. Deadliest Beast Deity Ethics Busters reverse. You limit break 4 once per turn. You may CB2, lock a rear guard, and discard 2 Beast Deity cards to get the following ability. So at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, you may stand it and draw 2 cards. When your drive check fulfills a grade 3 or greater Beast Deity, this unit gets power plus 5k. And he also gets a power plus 2,000 if Ethics Buster is in the soul, which you would definitely want that. It may not always happen, but like if you don't have it in the soul, you lose out on so much tempo that it really hurts the potential of this card. So let's see, Phoenix, create elementals Link Joker. Maybe there's some truth there. Like yeah, it feels bad, but still. All right, so yeah, I definitely see where you're saying that like this thing could pull off like 8 attacks. Like it's just dumb. This card is the dumb. You just throw a unit behind it, you lock that unit because you don't really need to boost it. Like once you break ride, it's gonna be powerful enough to just come out swinging. So at the end of the battle, this unit attack, it stands. You draw 2, so as soon as it stands, you're standing 2 in the front for Ethics Buster. It fuels its own cost, so like you get to draw 2 cards when the drive check fulfills a grade 3 greater. Gets the power plus 5,000. So I mean, like you're just doing so much. Versus strongest Beast Deity Ethics Buster Extreme. So limit break 4 when your drive check fulfills a grade 2 or less. Beast Deity, stand one of your other rear guards. If you did not stand, one of your rear guards gets power plus 5,000. When this unit is boosted, it gets the power plus 3,000. Generic stuff that we've seen. So they changed his skill a little bit to accommodate 0, but it's still pretty much the same thing. It's just worded slightly different. So, alright, let my ass off. Link Joker, greatest nightmares Kagura and Narukami, because standing Kagura and crit Narukami also retire both. Yeah, Link Joker does not like restanding. That's why like Shadows just kind of like laugh at Link Joker. They're like, oh, that's cool. You want to lock my shit? I'm going to eat my shit. And now you can't lock it. Oh, what's that? I got all of my bonuses while you're sitting there trying to lock me, and now you can't lock me. And then I'm going to proceed to beat you in the face with my big freaking dragon. It's awesome. So yeah, Revengers are just stupid strong, even against Jokers. I'm really kind of hyped for the Beast Deity support. Now I'm actually more interested in Reverse. I never played Reverse though in the TCG. I did play Extreme, but I didn't play Reverse because I didn't like Reverse as much as Extreme. But now looking at that has me kind of intrigued. So hopefully maybe tomorrow I pull some of those. I could actually make 2 of them if I needed to, so that feels pretty good. Now let's get into Thunder Dragons. So Eradicator, Blade, Hang, Draco Kid. New starter. When your opponent's rear guards are tired by the effect of your Eradicator, if your Vanguard is bowing, put this unit in your soul to have that Vanguard get 3k and a crit. I'm a little torn on this one because I do like the sweet command. So like if you were going for like a straight up pure bowing sword build, this dude's brilliant. Like yeah, run it. Like you'd be crazy not to run it. But like if you're running the sweet command engine, I still like the sweet command ability because then you get 2 Vanguard attacks potentially in the 1 turn, and that's 4 drive checks. But given the fact that Reverse does give itself a crit, and then this thing can just like slide into the soul, like it fuels itself due to how like bowing sword works, that's going to be 3 crit at their face. So it's like 24 or better with 3 crits at their face, and you're retiring their units. That's kind of scary. Definitely kind of scary. I don't know. I think what I may do is like make 2 builds. I'll do the Sweet Command Reverse build, but then I'm going to try a pure bowing sword build and see how they feel. Definitely a lot of playtesting options there. Then we've got grade 1 Duststorm Eradicator Toko. So counterblast 1 to get power plus 1000. I don't think you're going to be using that. You've got too many better options right now. There's just no room for it. Eradicator Fire Kukaji. So when this unit boosts the Vanguard of your opponent's damage zone has 3 or more cards, it gets power plus 4000. It's weird because they decided to drop this now because this was a trial deck unit back in the day when we originally got Eradicators as a trial deck. So it was really weird they waited so long to implement a common card such as this. And back in the day, in the TCG, it wasn't really necessarily a bad card when we had very limited options because he hit magic numbers. He boosted the Vanguard for magic numbers, and it put it in a very sweet spot to make them have to guard more, you know, due to how we had to guard with our shields and stuff. So it doesn't really matter. Like, power boosts don't necessarily matter as much in Zero as they did in the TCG because of how guarding works. So I don't know. We'll see. Eradicator Lawrence Force Dragon. So when your grade 3 Eradicator Vanguard is placed, you may CB1 retire one of your opponent's rear guards at random with priority to the back row. It's the timing. The timing is what bothers me about this card. Otherwise, I think this card is actually kind of brilliant because it's 1 counterblast to pop a unit, even though it could be the back row, but it also has the potential to still nuke a front row, depending on their board state. But the fact that you have to place a grade 3 Eradicator, it messes with the timing because more than likely this thing's not going to be on the field when you actually place the Vanguard due to the fact that they're gonna either pop it or they're gonna just beat it off the board. So it's like you got better options. Suse is just so much better, unfortunately. Let's look at chat real quick. So Phoenix, stop retiring your units, Link Joker. Persona Radka Burr. Right? That's exactly how it's gonna be. That, yes, in a nutshell. So BC Gamer, Ethics Reverse with Golden Anglet and Yamatano and a Break Ride. It's GG unless your opponent is lucky. Absolutely, man, because Yamatano and Anglet are just gonna like eat their Wheaties and get super buffed. They're gonna be like, look at all my gains. We've been pumping iron like left and right this turn. Look at me go. So a guy, you just call it at the back row. True. So let's see. That's true. That's a good point, guy. Thank you. I'm not thinking outside the box. I'm thinking just like in the narrow tunnel vision. A guy is right. You could just slap this thing in the back row. So like, you could put a 12k in the front, put this thing in the back. And I mean, like, let's just say you go into you just ride your grade 3 as normal. Then 1 CB, you pop something. Next turn, you go into your break ride. 1 CB, you pop something. there is potential there, and I appreciate you dropping that a guy, because that was actually pretty brilliant. Thank you, because I don't always think outside the box. I tend to get that tunnel vision sometimes. That was pretty cool. Let's see, Arcways, when you misplay, that's the time where you know that you're done. Like literally. Yeah, you're gonna have to play really smart. You have to play pretty smart against it, against like Beast Deity, just due to how that they're gonna work. So let's look at our new baby boy, Eradicator, Voeing Saber Dragon Reverse. He is beefy. So Limit Break 4, Counterblast 1, you lock 2 rear guards. Gives power plus 10k until in the turn. You may retire 2 of your opponent's rear guards at random with priority to the back row. I mean, him on top of the break ride, like you're just murdering their field. And then the more amazing thing is that if 3 or more of your opponent's rear guards were retired, obviously they're going to be potentially, depending on the board state, but you should be able to, you know, then he gets a crit. So like he's good. Like he's just, there's nothing really bad about this card. And normally I would be kind of like, oh god, he locks 2 units, but you just throw something behind him, freaking lock it. I mean, better yet, let's look at what a guy said. Just drop the grade 2 behind him. Just drop Lawrence behind Voeing Saber and do the thing. Like, then you're just destroying their field. Like if it's Aqua Force, you're gonna rip their field apart. If it's Beast Deity, you're probably gonna rip their field apart, depending on the state of the game. The only problem is that Liberators kind of laugh in the face of Eradicators now because of Garmor, because Garmor's gonna be like, oh, that's cute, you killed my field. 2 CB, now I've got a field again. What's good, son? What's good? Only thing that sucks about Garmor is that it's the top deck, so you don't get to look at the top 4 and dictate what card actually comes to the field. But still, 2 CB for a full field, I'll still take that. So that's really all we have for Eradicators. It's just minimal support, but it's enough support to still keep them relevant, and that's what Bushiroad is pretty damn good about, is keeping Eradicators relevant. Let's see, Arcway, Nova, Pale Moon, Spikes, and etc. clan that use a lot of multi-attacks and Soul Blast. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. BC Gamer, nah. Garmor's like, haha, you can retire my units. Yeah, exactly, right? Oh, man. I do hope I get Garmor, man. I am hoping that I get Garmors. Alright, so now the new clan. The new babies. Hopefully it's going to be my babies. Starvaders, aka Link Joker. So Starvader, Dust Tail Unicorn, before the December nerfs, he was, if your opponent has a lock card, you may CB1, put this unit to your soul, and you lock one of your opponent's rear guards. Very powerful, easy to fulfill. Now he says, if your opponent has a lock card, you may CB1, put it into soul, and now you lock one of your opponent's back row. I'm actually okay with this. When I saw Different Fights video about the nerfs and the changes to the starters, I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, let them change the starter. Maybe they won't touch Chaos Breaker Dragon. Sadly, they still touched Chaos Breaker Dragon, but I'm okay with this. This is actually balanced, because if you could just keep locking their front row rear guard, you would beat their face in. Link Joker would be abusive, in a new sense of being abusive, because then they've got no way to defend. It's like you go ham and you beat their face, and then hopefully they got a PG. If they don't have a PG, then it just feels really, really bad. So being able to just lock a back row unit, that's cool. I'm fine with that. I think that's very balanced for what the clan does. Let's look at the ride chain. Micro Hole Draco Kid. Now this is going to be for the Schwarzschild Dragon ride chain, and I'm a huge fan of this because even though it's not Starvader, it's still not restricted to have to worry about the Starvader archetype, so you can splash most of the Starvader stuff in with the ride chain. So let's look at this. When rode upon by Gravity Ball Dragon, you look at the top 7 cards of the deck and you look for Schwarzschild Dragon or Gravity Collapse Dragon, and you add it to your hand. If not, you call it to the rear guard. We've seen this before. And when rode upon by another card, you call this card. So generic ride chain stuff that we've seen. Earnest Starvader Selenium. When your opponent's rear guard is locked by a card effect, return this unit to your hand. This was kind of relevant in the TCG because of shield value. Now, I don't know. I just don't see this thing being used. Like, you've got too many better options. You're gonna run Dust Tail. There's just no reason why you wouldn't run Dust Tail unless you're running the ride chain. Let's look at chat real quick. Oh, hydrate. Sorry guys, I got off on my little tangent here. Let's hydrate. That's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. That's a 4. Oh man, at least I'm not gonna be dehydrated anytime soon. Drink, dude. You need water to refresh up because your voice is getting I don't know, dude, man, my voice is shot. I've been like fighting either allergies or something like super bad lately. It's been terrible. It's been absolutely terrible. Plus I talk too damn much. Until good old xenophobic Chaos Breaker Dragon kicks this micro hole. Absolutely. And thank Ark. Now I'm gonna be like super paranoid and conscious about how my voice sounds. Drink, dude, you need water. Alright, so anyway. Excuse me. White Knight Fenrir. At the end of the battle, this unit boosted a unit with Limit Break, put in your soul, draw a card. It's not bad. It's alright. It's alright. Black Green Chain, excuse me, Pallades. Damn. Oh man. So counterblast 1 to put this into your soul. Look at the top 5. So it's your grade 3 searcher. Maybe something will use that. I'm not sure. Only because like Dust Tail's still just better. Dust Tail's just always better than that. So Origin Fist Big Bang, put it into your soul to have one of your units get power plus 3000. Yeah, you're not gonna use that. Now looking at the ride chain again. If Micro Hole Draco Kid is in your soul, this unit gets power plus 1000. About said 10. When rode upon by a grade 2 other than Gravity Collapse, you look at top 7 and you ride Gravity Collapse Dragon. So like it fixes itself. I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan. I'm definitely going to be running the Swartz Child engine if I can get my hands on all of it. Then we've got the PG. Nothing really to be said about that. We all know how PGs work. You're going to be running at a 4 of. Opener of the Dark Gate. So when placed, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, you may discard a card from your hand, draw a card. Maybe. Demon Claw is what you're going to be running. So when your opponent's rear guard is locked by a card effect, this unit gets power plus 3000. So we've seen cards like this before. With Liberators with Bruno, when you Superior Call, you get plus 3. When Eradicators with Suki, when you retire, you get plus 3k. So like, we see these generic grade 1s that just get the 3k power bonus. It's almost like they want to just give every clan that power bonus unit. So this is just a cookie cutter clone of what we've seen before. We got Hollow Twin Blaze as our 8k vanilla. Artwork looks sexy as hell. Really hate that it's just an 8k vanilla because artwork, I freaking love it. Let's see. Strafing Starvader Ruthenium. That totally butchered that. When this unit boosts Starvate Nebula of the Lord, you may Soul Blast get power plus 5000. Again, it's another generic cookie cutter unit that we've seen that when you're boosting a particular unit, you do something to give it more power. Let's look at chat real quick. We're golden. So then we've got Paradox Nail Fenrir. So when this unit boosts a unit with Limit Break, it gets power plus 3000. Just, yeah. So much stuff that you're like really not gonna use, and that feels really bad. So then Imaginary Orthos, when placed, your damage only has 4 or less cards, but top card yet. So we got Damage Manipulator, put you at Limit Break so you can get your Break Ride off. Maybe you want to go into Nebula Lord without the Break Ride. You could totally do that. It's very plausible. Asteroid Belt Lady Gunner. So when the attack this unit boost hits, you may discard a card and draw a card. Airmo. It's Airmo for Link Joker. Now here is the MVP. Starvader Mobius Breath. So when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you may lock one of your opponent's rear guards. Enough said. Like, you're gonna run this. You're gonna run it at a 4 up solid. Like, there's no reason why you would not run this card unless you just don't have it. Like, the on-hit lock one is just too good. It's just way too good. Like this with Gravity Collapse. So this says that when it's placed, if Gravity Ball is in your soul, you lock one of your opponent's rear guards. If they try to rush you early, you can punish them in a sense. Because then you could ride this, you lock one, you can kill their other one, and then you drop this down, you hit them with Mobius Breath, you lock their other unit, and you punish them for trying to aggro you too early. Problem is, so far that I can tell, Schwarzschild's deck is the only one that's going to be able to like lock between these two pretty consistently without needing to break ride, and I'm a huge fan of that. Obviously you can put this in with the other Starvader system if you want to run just Infinite Zero with Nebula Lord, but I like the potential between these two and the synergy that they bring. Paradise Elk. So when this unit attack hits, you may CB2 to draw. Generic. We've seen that in every other clan almost, that on hit CB2. So really good. Now we got the grade 2 10k. Nothing really said. I really like the artwork. I've always liked Krypton. I think he's sexy. Furious Claw, Starvader, and Niobium. So when your opponent's rear guard is locked by your card effect, he gets plus 3000. So like you can build some massive columns with Claw and with Lanthanum on the field, because he's going to be 10, he's going to be 11, so that's a 21k column just for locking one unit if these two are sitting in the same column. And if you keep locking other units, it just gets absurd how much power that they have. It's too quiet in here. Everybody is chilling, man. Excuse me, my voice is shot today. Damn it. Nah, everybody's just chilling, man. It's early morning and I can't talk for shit. So the fact that you guys are even still hanging with me with the fact that my voice sounds like this, tip my coffee to you. Now the next one. Singularity Sniper. God bless it. So when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if your opponent has a locked card, lock one of your opponent's rear guards. Like, you put Lanthanum behind this thing and you're locking more units, because then Lanthanum's going to get the power bonus. This thing's going to be boosted with it and you can just do the dumb things. So maybe one or two of this if you have room. Mobius Breath is still better than this, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Fumiko-chan, hydrate. Yes, thank you. Okay, so, and welcome to the stream, by the way. Yes, it is an early stream, and I do apologize if my voice is cracking. I have been fighting allergies for like the last month. They said it was a sinus infection. I took all the medicines, and it's still not quite gone away. Like, I woke up this morning thinking I was gonna have like an ear infection or something. But yeah, so my voice cracks and it sounds like terrible. I do apologize. So anyway, let's keep going, guys. Lamal. So when this unit attacks, counter +1 to get power plus 4000. You're not going to use it. You don't have room for it. Negligible Hydra. When placed, if your damage zone has 4. Okay, so let's just go ahead and say this is your limit break enabler. You know, damage manipulator, whatever you want to call it. It looks dope. I'm a huge fan of like the Hydra, Cybernetic, Cyber Dragon, Yu-Gi-Oh looking thing. Z-Man. Do you have any honey? It'll help with your throat and your voice. I do, actually. I do. I have it in my baking cabinet. I think I'm gonna do that probably after stream. That's a very good point. Fumiko-chan, did you see the SVR Mordred? Yes, I actually commented on it because you posted it on Twitter. I think you also posted it on Discord, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that SP was sexy. That was fire. Complete fire. All right, so moving into the grade 3s. We've got Knight of Entropy. So limit break 4 when this unit attacks at Vanguard, it gets power plus 5k. So in the battle, generic stuff. I think this was a trial deck unit. But when placed, you may CB2 to lock one of your rear guards. So if you're looking for a budget deck, this is budget friendly. There is a budget deck here that I'm seeing. So I think depending on what I get tomorrow, I think there's 3 decks we can do. We can do a budget build for Link Joker. We can do a Schwarzschild deck, and then we can do a Nebula Infinite Zero deck. And I'm a big fan of that. That's 3 different decks that we can get out of Link Joker, provided we get everything that we need. So let's look at Nebula Lord, the big boss monster of this set for Link Joker. So limit break 4 at the start of your battle phase, all your front row units get power plus 3k until the end of turn for each opponent's locked unit. In addition, if your opponent has 3 or more locked cards, you may draw a card. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. If you've got this card, there's no reason why you would not use it. None. And then his other ability is you may CB1 to lock one of your opponent's back row rear guards. Doesn't say once per turn. So like if you've got the counter blast to spare, you can easily just like start spamming lock their units, and then you just... Nebula is good. I would almost dare say that you could even forego doing the break ride. Like if you wanted to just start locking them early and just getting bonuses off of it, just go into Nebula Lord and start locking them. Like, it's not a bad play. You're gonna get power on your board, you're gonna power up your Lanthanims, you're gonna power up, you know, other things, and you're gonna be able to lock them. Like, it's super strong. I do think there's an aggro deck there to be had with the lock mechanic in Nebula Lord. So, looking at the Break Ride unit, Star Vader Infinite Zero Dragon. The Limit Break 4, when rode upon, you may counterblast 1 to have your Vanguard get power plus 10k, and you lock 1 each of your opponent's front row, back row units. So, on the Break Ride, you get 1 counterblast, Nebula locks something, another counterblast, you lock 2 other units, so that's 3 for the cost of 2 counterblasts. I'm not a fan of the fact that they made Infinite Zero a counterblast. The fact that they made Mordred free, but then they put the counterblast, is like they're like, oh, let's take it off of Mordred and let's just give it an Infinite Zero. Because lock is just too strong. We want to bring balance to the game. Yeah. So like everything has to come at a cost in order to lock, almost. There's stipulations or there's a counterblast cost to it now. I guess it's fine. It is only 1 CB, so like I can't be too pissed off about it. Arc, but I'm gonna ask I want to ask you this: when you use Link Joker in rank, are you planning to use Link Joker as main or side clan? Let's see. Z-Man, do you have any honey? Okay, I did read that. That's a good question, man. Like I really love my dragons for like Dragon Empire, and I do like Stargate. Like I'm a huge Stargate fan too, so I'm gonna be kind of torn. I'm gonna be torn, dude. There's a lot of good decks out now. Like once this set hits, there's just a lot of good decks. So we'll see. Next up is gonna be Schwarzschild Dragon. Huge fan of this card. So Limit Break 4, Counterblast 3, Persona Blast, discard a copy to lock 3 of your opponent's rear guards, and then gets plus 10k and a crit. When plays, you may CB1 to add a copy to your hand. So again, this is like Raging Form, where you just pay the cost and you just generate a copy. I'm a huge fan of the Persona Blasts that do that, because Persona Blast is such a tricky mechanic to get off due to the fact that we don't keep the drive checks in this game. So any Persona that gives itself a copy of itself, I'm a huge fan. It is a huge steep cost though. Counterblast 3 and a Persona Blast. Forget the Persona Blast, but the Counterblast 3 is a very steep cost. It's almost a Counterblast per lock at that point. So CB3, you lock 3 units. You did get a crit in the power. So like, maybe it's very high roll. It's almost like you're playing Dimensional Police, because then it's like, we're gonna go balls deep, we're gonna swing at your face, and maybe we hit. And if we hit, it feels good. If we don't, we just blew through all of our resources in one big gambit, and that feels bad. I like the ride chain. I like what it does, but like, we'll see if how this actually plays. I just don't know. It's gonna be very high rolly, I feel like. But who knows? Maybe it'll be good. So we've got like a Lion, Schrodinger's Lion. So when this unit attacks, the Vanguard gets power plus 2000. Twilight Baron. This was a trial deck unit. So Limit Break 4, when this unit attacks, the Vanguard gets power plus 5k. It's just generic Limit Break material that we've seen before. They threw it in Link Joker because it was like everything that came before Link Joker, let's just kind of catch them up and give them a cookie cutter version of it. This is fine. Catastrophe Stinger. When you grade 3 Vanguard's place, this unit gets plus 10k. You're not gonna use it. Oh, Z-Man, so Anteiku. I'm new to your channel, so I was wondering, what's your favorite clan to play? And if you have one, what's your favorite unit in that clan? That's a tough question. That is a tough question. I am torn because I like Dragon Empire. I like a lot of the Dragon Empire stuff. I'm a huge Dragon fan. I've always liked dragons. You can blame Dragon Ball Z for that at a young age. But yeah, I'm torn between Dragon Empire and Stargate. I do like mechs. I do like Gundams. I love Gaio Gaigar, which is what Dimensional Police is based off of. And it's like, I don't know. That's so tough. I'm a very indecisive person. At the core of me, I'm a very indecisive person. So like, I like Link Joker for the Star Vaders. I'm not a fan of Deleters. I'm not a fan of Messiahs, because I like the aesthetic look of Link Joker for Star Vaders. I think they're really awesome. They're like cybernetic alien beings. And I just like the black and the red and stuff. They're two of my favorite colors. But dragons, like I do like Dragon Empire. Dragonic Overlord, the Great, Dragonic Overlord, the End. Like, this is the meme. So like, if you're not new to Vanguard, then you'll know the meme that for like Overlord, there's always, this is not my final form, which is a big Dragon Ball Z reference, because they always give Dragonic Overlord some other more powerful, crazy form to keep it relevant to the game. BC Gamer, he is a man of culture. Dragonic Overlord, the clan. Oh, let's see. Arkway, Ant's Fave Clan is Link, Joker, Kagero, etc. Also, Ant, I gotta go for a second. I will be back in 4 minutes or so. Dope, man. Take it easy. We'll be here. But like, I like DP. I like Dimensional Police. And it's not like some people say, oh, you're bandwagoning or something like that. But no, I'm not bandwagoning. Like, I like mechs, man. Like, who the hell doesn't like a good mech? Like, I was a huge Power Ranger fan growing up. I loved Power Rangers. I've watched like almost every incarnation of Power Rangers, or Super Sentai, if you will, that there was. And Dimensional Police really resonates with me on that sense, because it's like you've got the big Megazord as your Vanguard in the center column, and then like all of your resources are going in to fill it, especially like with Great Dayusha and Goyusha, because you would be able to take all of your little robo rear guards and then they go into the soul, so then like you form the big Megazord and you do the cool thing, and it's like you got all this power, so it feels like, you know, you've got the Power Ranger Megazord and just coming down like the hand of God on their Vanguard, as if it was the monster that the Power Rangers were trying to defeat. And so yeah, I'm just weird like that, man, because that's where my mind goes. That's where my mind goes with it. But I'm just torn, dude. I like Stargate and I love Dragon Empire, so that's the simplest way I can put it, is that those two are my favorites, hands down. See, BC Gamer, same. Dragon fan so much. Watched too much Dragons when I was a kid, and my dad had a dragon tattoo when I was born. It's Chinese Zodiac. I was born in the year of the dragon. Dude, that is dope. I'm actually kind of jelly, dude. That is awesome. My dad's got a Tasmanian devil in a kilt because my family is Scotch Irish. So that's pretty dope, dude. Huge fan. Fumiko Chan, it's so hard not to spend my gems today. Mighty Morphin Vanguard. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. That's like having Tachi Kaze with Ancient Dragons. I'm like, yeah, let's go Dino Thunder, baby. Let's get in there and do the thing. Let's do it. Yeah, dude, that's awesome though. I have thought about actually getting a dragon tattoo at some point. Like, I thought if I ever did anything, something so permanent as a tattoo, that I would probably do a dragon. So anyway, let's keep moving on, guys. We got one last section of units to cover, and that's going to be Liberators. Super kind of stoked for this in a sense, even though I don't really play golds as much as I thought that I would in Zero. So Liberator, cheer up, Trumpeter. If you're a Liberator, can't even talk. If you have a Liberator Vanguard, put this unit sold, have your Vanguard get the following ability. So when your rear guard is placed from your deck, this unit gets plus 3,000. So basically you just tuck it into soul, and Garmor is going to be a fucking powerhouse, because you're going to CB2, you're going to tuck him, and then just like things are just going to start happening, man. You're just going to start building up your field. So then you just start laughing at Eradicators. You almost even laugh at Jokers, because you're like, oh, I'm not going to give you a field. Now I'm going to give you a field when I'm ready to. It's good. It's good. I really like it. But you're really mostly going to use this in a Garmor deck. I don't think you'll use this outside of Garmor too much, just because it loses too much tempo if you do that. Looking at Barco Liberator, a card that should have been out like as soon as Liberators came out. Why they waited to drop this, I'm not sure. But Barco Liberator, when the attack by Blaster Blade Liberator, this unit boosted hits a Vanguard, look at the top 3 of your deck and call a Liberator. Easy requirement to fill. It's free, because all you have to do is just boost and it has to hit. Like, that's pretty easy to fulfill. And then you get a Liberator. Like, the combos are stupid. Like, it just lends itself to so much synergy. Let's see. Z-Man. No, I get you. I still love Power Rangers Super Sentai to this day. I'm getting my 8-year-old little brother into it. He kind of is, but he still gets kind of scared of some of the monsters. No, that's dope. You should totally get him into Power Rangers, man. I can remember back in the 90s, dude, like growing up, and they were like, oh, it's so violent and kids are fighting because they're watching Power Rangers. Like, I never fought nobody. I fucking love Power Rangers, but I never fought anybody. I thought it was like the most asinine comment that people could make, was that Power Rangers influenced violence. Okay. That's what helps you sleep at night. So Sunrise Unicorn. Rest this unit to have one of your other units get power plus 2,000. I don't know. Maybe you'll use it. People do use the little seahorse thing in Aqua, but you don't have room for this thing. Unless it's a budget build, then maybe you'd have room. So Knight of Far Arrow Sapphire. When placed from your deck, you may soul charge, counter charge. Like, this is good. This is good because you need counter chargers in Liberators. So this is actually pretty brilliant. I'm a huge fan of this card. problem is going to come into the fact of, do you have room for it? Do you have room for this card? I don't know. Like, maybe you tech in one, maybe two, no more than two though. So then we've got Liberator, Bagpipe, Angel. So when placed from your deck, if your Vanguard is a Liberator, 2 of your units get power plus 2,000. She's stupid good. Like, let me be careful how I say that. In the TCG, she was really good. You did run this in Garmor. But with how Zero works, because we don't have to worry about shield value, that's why I say, like, power is cool. But power is not the equivalent of what it was in the TCG, in my opinion. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that. That's just my unbiased opinion right now. I don't feel like the power numbers are as relevant as they used to be. Now, if we were still guarding from hand, yeah, that 2,000 power starts creating magical numbers along the way. And I would say definitely this would be awesome. I just don't know, because the deck space is so tight. I just don't know how many you would run of this. And I don't know what the Japanese are doing with this, because I haven't looked at it. And at the same time, I really don't want to copy the Japanese format. I would rather just play test it, kind of come up with my own feel, my own flow for the deck, and see what happens. And I suggest that to anybody. Just kind of fill the deck out and do what feels right for you. By the way, for those tuning in, welcome to Anteiku. It was a pleasure to have you out this morning with us, guys. So we've got the grade 2 pickle, so you are pickle. Sounds like pickle. Counterblast 2 to get power plus 4,000. You're not going to run that. Then you got Blue Skies Liberator Hingest. So when this unit attack hits, you may CB2 to draw a card. We've seen this plenty of times. We saw it just earlier. Maybe. I doubt it. It's a double rare. I just don't think you've got room or the resources to do that. You don't need to. So let's look at the big boy himself, the new boss unit for Liberator. So Wolfang Liberator Garmor. So limit break 4, counter blast 2 to call the top card of your deck to an open rearguard circle. This effect is repeated until you have no open rearguard circles. I do think it was brilliant that they reworded that, because in the TCG, the way that was worded was kind of like, it didn't make sense. But once you understood how the mechanic worked and what he was trying to do, then it made more sense. But I'm glad they reworded it. So it says, when placed, this unit gets the following ability until end of turn. So your Liberator rear guards cannot be retired by your opponent's card effects or lose intercept. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because it kind of harkens back to the Royal Paladin Garmor, of how, like, you could not lose intercept. So I'm kind of a fan of that. Also, when this unit attacks, put a Liberator on the rear guard on the bottom of your deck to get the power plus 5k. And that's just easy because, you know, you could empty your field out to fuel it with more resources next turn. So it's not really that big of a drawback. Gigantech Pillar Fighter. This is just generic during your turn. If you have more rear guards than your opponent, this unit gets plus 3,000. Whatever. Sacred Guardian Beast. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, more units gets power plus 3,000. That's cool. Liberate Burning Blow during your turn, so you gets power plus 4,000. Again, just generic budget things, I guess. And then you've got Golshog Liberator Kado, which this one's kind of cool for me because I actually used this card when I first started building Liberators back in the TCG, and I didn't have everything I needed. He was a promo for the tournaments. So limit break 4 when this unit attacks hits a Vanguard or attacks a Vanguard, it gets power plus 5,000. And when this unit attack hits, you may CB1 to call the top card of your deck. So it was pretty cool because, you know, you can still get the superior call, you get the one counter blast and just, you know, do the thing. So it's very budget friendly for what he does for Liberators. So yeah, guys. Let's see. Phoenix, Garmor's effect called grade 3, bro. Yeah, I know, that feels really bad. Feels bad. Yeah, because then you lose out on triggers because you have no way to dictate what comes off the top of it, and that just feels really, really bad. So yeah, that is set 12 in a nutshell, guys. Like, I mean, I know we all really kind of, you know, we knew what was coming. We know these units, we know these cards. This was really just to help get the information out there for those who are new to Vanguard, because I'm more aware now that there are players who are not familiar with the TCG. There are more people who are just gumming into Zero for the first time. They're seeing these cards for the first time. They don't know what they do. They don't know the history behind it. And, you know, I just want to be able to be one of those people that can kind of get that information out there and share it with you guys. I think it's pretty cool. But with that being said, let's go ahead and pop over onto Zero start getting some viewer fights underway.